So we need a secretary for it. Do I have an all?
Is everybody eligible?
Well, were we doing it in the rotation?
I thought we were,
I thought we were.
but I never keep track of where the rotation is.
Well, Bethany did the last one.
Right.
And I think,
Who did the last one?
I think Dee was before
And you did the one
her.
before that?
Oh,
Dee.
Dee.
I did it.
So maybe, Pat, you wanna do it?
Right. Why don't you just quickly do it for the year so we don't have to do this every month?
Sure.
Yeah, that would be, I think that's a great idea. All right, that's,
Except Russ isn't there, but,
well, we can just assign them.
yeah,
So Pat.
so Pat.
Well, we've done that before. We could do that offline and send it around.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We do know that Bethany was.
Thank you.
asked to do this before her.
Why don't we just go around the
I
table?
did everybody
No.
got one. Everybody, did you get
I
one?
have the
So
minutes.
Pat's today.
I don't have to send
Just
any
go around
minutes.
the
You don't
table.
take any notes.
Do you have to send my minutes?
Don't take any notes.
You've got it in the
I
past.
have.
Sure.
You've got it.
Oh,
Yeah, no? No.
Well, you know, they're right here.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Bethany, did you pick up
Oh,
the?
you didn't get your whole
I did,
package.
I did.
You didn't get the whole package? Oh, yeah, you did. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is Russ and this is Dee, so actually just about number today.
That'd be great.
I give mine up at meeting.
Why don't we officially get started here? I'd like to call the meeting to order, Citrus Council on Aging, Thursday, January 8th, 5:11. We're a little late, sorry about that, folks, probably mostly my fault, but
What is it?
why don't we go around and do our intros? While we get started, can you, I'm Dave Miller, Chair, I'll go this way, Linda.
Linda Hayes Kelly, Director.
Kelly Walsh, Assistant Director. Phil Sorrentino.
Anna Morris.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Just gonna say program.
What is she today?
Yeah, who are you?
Who am I?
I think just, I'm in the social day program, coordinator.
You're social and what else?
I'm very
Yeah.
social.
You're very social, that's what I thought. Anna Morris, Board of Director. Susan Pope, Board Member.
Leslie James, board member.
Bethany O'Connor, board member.
Kenzie Vanderbrook, South Shore Elder Services.
Laurie Brady, board member.
Elaine Chabari, Foster Liaison.
Pat Halpin, board member.
Susan Dravich Kelly, Vice Chair.
Thank you, welcome all. Why don't we jump into our minutes, since we've sort of been discussing that offline here. The December minutes, you've all got in a hard copy packet, hopefully. So,
Sorry if I didn't press send on the electronic email.
so,
Of course, yeah.
I went over them, so. Was trying to get them to 2 pages, but that was impossible. No, it's,
Even with the new printer.
even though the new printer doesn't care yet. Oh, I'm afraid to.
yeah. everyone had a chance or to review as I talk? Does anybody have any comments, edits, wordsmithing?
It's just a comment for Anna and Bethany is that just, you could just put down at the end or something that you would
Yes, see reports.
Yeah, like, so, just so we have a record of who did the minutes. It helps with the rotation. Plus, give yourself some credit. Great job.
Any comments or edits? I have a motion to approve the minutes from December 11th.
I move to approve the minutes from December 11th.
Susan, thank you. Second.
Second it?
You can't.
Oh, yeah.
I second.
Anna, thank you.
But thanks. I do, when I save the file, if I'd sent it to everybody, it would have had VOC, as the file. I do that for all of them, so if we go back, I can tell you who that. But still help.
Linda?
You want me?
Linda's director.
Me again, it's me again. I told you whenever, that it was gonna be a quick, this meeting was gonna be quick, and here we are again. So happy January. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
2006.
And boy, it started with a bang. I mean, January 5th, it's like, wow, the place is just jumping, and we do have a lot going on. So it has been busy, and busier, maybe a little bit more for the staff with, Gail is out on a medical still, at least through the end of the month, so that's been since really December 10th.
Okay.
So, just starting to show a little bit, the holidays were fine, and it was a little bit quieter in December, but anyway. So January's busy. We did have 24 new member registrations during the month of December, which again, a little less than it has been, but it was a slightly quieter month, except for the social stuff. We do have AARP tax assistance coming up this month, or really technically the appointments start February 5th, I think, yeah. The Tuesday. But January 13th is when we can start taking appointments. So that's what people need to know, is some have been calling already and haven't maybe read the newsletter. The dates are clear and there. You can start calling or making appointments because you can still do them online. And I will try to send something out so that there's a link that someone could click on if they wanted to go right to the site for making appointments. Otherwise, they still call here. Jill makes the appointments because she can do it electronically.
How many can they handle a day?
Well, the appointments go from about 9 to about 3, 2:33, so,
Half hour, okay.
and they are half hour, I think. So the packets, however, aren't scheduled to be here until January 20th, so that's really another week beyond when people might make the appointments. They don't have to get the packet before making the appointment, but they do have to have the packet in hand before coming to the appointment and having all the documents that are requested ready, that are explained in the packet. So it is relatively important that they get it. So that's anyway beginning, and then as you know, 2 rooms are given to them on Tuesday and Thursday. So it's both our conference room behind us here, the Driftway, and the Peggotty room. So that just reduces some of the availability of things, but we certainly worked it out at least so far for February, March, and half of April. So anyway, nice to have them around, and they've been doing some training in there as well.
I hate to interrupt on this one, but is the Veterans Conference Room available?
It is
Good.
often, so it
Good.
is. If anybody did need to have a meeting, we could call on him.
Good.
Yeah. Regular evening meetings, which are starting to happen with a little more frequency. And I guess I just mentioned AARP, but funny enough, the St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee met this past
There we
week.
go.
Oh my
So,
God, it's like unbelievable.
Oh,
So that's something to just put in your hat, in that we will still be in it with the van, and so if anybody's interested, and we'll try to sort of configure it the same way with the Brown Brothers music in front of us on a float. So it certainly is a fun couple of hours or 2 or 3 hours. So, I'm sure I'll talk more about it, but it is on the horizon, now that it's January. And the social day program, you know, things are great. I will let Lucille and Kelly talk about that, obviously, because Lucille is here. Some changes, but still keeping up, but a lot to keep up with actually as participants and certain things change among them, between the participants and the volunteers. So there's a lot to keep up with actually. So, and because I don't really have a formal report from Gail, I just included a lot of what has been going on. I did give some numbers after this, but, you know, December events were good. I mean, it was slower maybe for some of the regular activities, but we did have the wonderful big band concert at the beginning of December with 90 plus. We did have a great, the police Christmas luncheon was about 105 or more people that attended, and that went really
That's a
well.
good,
Because we've done it before, they've done it before,
good
it's
turnout.
easier.
Yeah.
We did our pre-New Year's Eve party with the WSU band, and that was on the 30th. That was a little lighter than before, so I'm not sure if maybe it wasn't as well publicized, other than in the newsletter, that could be. But we still had fun, as did they, and there were 13 of them playing for us that day. But it was great. Happy to be continuing
It's a
with
good
that.
turnout from the WSU band.
It is.
13. I've seen them do 6.
You seen them do 6?
Yeah.
Not here.
No.
They like it here, which is good. We like that. Well, the musicians seem to like it here, and actually, we've got a nice offer on the table from, you know, one of the organizers of that big band, Mark DiLorenzo, and I had asked him afterwards, because he was so knowledgeable, if he would consider doing sort of a jazz history or, you know, a class about jazz, and so he will. He'd like them maybe to be able to rehearse, and they want to make sure they perform here at least twice a year, not just once. So, I mean, that's very nice. And
That's
they-
good.
they would act-
People love the, you know, music
Yeah.
oriented, music
They
dancing.
do, they do.
It's always, it seems to be
Um,
attract people.
So speaking of that, of course, we do have the Sunday jazz brunch, which we decided to do again, which we did last year, and I think I did have some help from the board, so if anyone's interested again. It's sort of same time, same channel, so to speak. It's Sunday, February 15th. And we do have the Driftway Jazz Band coming for that. We do a Fred and Amy in the Kitchen. They tweaked a little bit of the menu, trying to sort of hone it a little bit, because there was a lot of food last time. And currently, we're considering 85 people for it if we get that many.
One thing I just wanted to, I won't be here unfortunately, I'm at a family event in Florida, but, it's just, remember last year at the end, we talked about like moving the
Dance.
tables to
Yeah.
the dance.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
Hopefully I will
because
remember
people
that.
wanted to dance and there was really no place to dance, so.
Yes, we will do that.
I just wanted to dance.
So, January and February, as I mentioned, certainly is busy and really in full swing. Some of the new items include what some of you, 4 of you at least, saw today, the AI presentation. And of course, that was somebody bringing someone else in, and Gail had arranged that, so I didn't necessarily know, but talking with him, I certainly found him to be a good, interesting resource, and they did say they'd like to come back and do it again. So maybe we could do more of a series and give them some feedback on what people wanted to hear about. So, and then maybe you already did.
I mentioned it to
Yeah.
he asked,
I'm sure.
but people really were into it.
Good. Yeah, they
It was
said.
good.
Well, we should be, I guess. The more we can learn, the better we can use it or, you know, take advantage of it. We also have a new book club for reading and discussion of classic books or novels, you know, things you might have read in younger days during school, or might not have read that we were supposed to read. So just revisiting, and I thought it was a great idea. It's a woman that lives in Scituate, and she had started it elsewhere, and she is a teacher also at the Montessori school. So that is, I believe, next week, and then again in February. What they're doing, she's doing Little House on the Prairie
Oh.
in January, which I did not read, and then The Outsiders in February, which was one of my favorite books. So, I don't know. But she was just saying, her experience has been that it's a whole different experience, really rereading or in fact discussing and thinking about the concepts as we're older. So I like the idea. That's in addition to the other book club that we already have and the men's book club that we already have. We have a Middle East presentation with Junaid Yassin next week as well, and he's come back a couple of times, and he's a great resource and a great speaker, teacher, and has, direct experience with a lot of this stuff, so he's a good resource for educating us on some of those aspects. A live oil painting demonstration with Sergio Raffo, so that should be fun, and we do have a lot of people signing up, and I don't right now see a reason to limit it, but at some point they won't be able to see him. So, you know what I mean, he'll be in the Egypt room and set up in the front, but, so I'm thinking maybe 60 people is reasonable, but we already have almost 50. So anyway, he will do a whole painting in an hour and a half, so that's what he says.
Wow.
Sergio's good.
Sergio's good.
It's fascinating
It is
to watch.
fascinating. It's fun.
Sergio's good.
We have a trip to the Orchid Show in 2 weeks, I believe, that's on the weekend, and that just filled up, but you can always take a wait list. Our featured Blue Zone program series started this week, it was great, we had,
A lot of
a
people.
lot of people, and others have signed up since as well, so we'll find a way for everybody to be sort of caught up on the series, but, so we're upwards to 60 people now, and we'll figure out a way to handle everybody. Including next month, the 4-week meditation program that's being offered, so that, will be interesting too. And then some other things in February, including, a drumming circle
And laughter yoga.
and laughter yoga. So those are open to the public, so to speak, but also a supplemental activity for the Blue Zone series. So, anyway, we'll figure that out if we need to do it any differently, but still, they'll be filled, because everybody's interested. But,
The only thing I wanted to add on that is that, which we haven't really talked about, but, a few people asked me privately, like I know Dee, for example, was away. So, we're gonna let people jump into the program even if they weren't there for the first
Yes.
session.
yes, so we have.
Yeah, so, because Lucille said she
Oh,
wanted to as well, so, yeah. So there's, there probably will be other people that weren't there. that
Mhm.
will sign up.
I'll send something out, hopefully I will have a chance to do that, and just let them know if they did wanna see the episode before the next one.
Yeah, that would.
We could arrange for that maybe before it, or otherwise tell them how to get it on their own if they need to.
It's on Netflix.
Yes,
so-
we know, but
Yeah.
we
But,
just,
you know,
we'll tell
they-
them. And then also, just to note, in February also, there's a poetry circle planned, which we've been, talking about, and that's Chris Zaremba. And then an introduction to genealogy with our own Marie Fricker, which is exciting, and I think once she does that sort of introduction of what her experience has been and what people can do easily, I think probably it will continue, so that's nice. We did have an offer I'm going to mention, just in case anybody here or out there is interested. A lovely offer from a group of high school students who love to bake, like to cook, and proposed creating a group here with seniors who would pass their recipes on to the kids themselves who would like to use them, cook, and then bring them back and sample and talk and discuss the recipes. So it's in the calendar, it's a little bit small because it came in kind of late, and we did get it in there, but I haven't as yet heard from anyone who might be interested in
Is
there.
it just baking recipes?
I
or
don't think
any-
it's just baking, she mentioned they like to bake, but really it was all recipes and all cooking. So we hadn't set a time, I just was asking if people were interested, let me know, and then we'll sort of figure it out with the students. And sometimes it's tricky with the students, because it's gotta be later in the day, but they get out about 3, and so we'll
Yeah.
probably come right here after that for at least an hour.
Quarters of
We could have them make the longevity soup.
But they really wanted to do it just on their own, it's not for community service hours, it's not, a project for school, it's just they like this and they were
Yeah,
interested,
like it.
so, she was very sweet. I was ready to send her packing, and that's a lovely idea, and really, we should think about this, so anyway, that's what happened. Our regular weekly and monthly classes or the recreation opportunities certainly continue, but we've got the wood turner still coming every month. Felting twice a month, one dry felting, one wet felting, with Patrice. The men's game night is back on a monthly basis. It's a Tuesday night, usually the 3rd, I think. Spanish classes, both beginner and then the intermediate, although the intermediate is first. Bridge, which also included a new teaching component, so for 6 weeks they were doing a beginner bridge. I don't think there's too many people signed up in it, I think it's starting tomorrow, but I'm sure maybe they can jump in as well. Mahjong, of course, continues to be filled, as well as hand and foot, knitting, writing with prompts, Singo, there's always room for more people for Singo. The iPad and the iPhone tech classes with Katie, our regular men's and the No Rules book clubs, and the garden club arrangement. So those are some of the just, daily, everyday besides exercise. We did find a new watercolor painting instructor, which is great, Kathy Mulgazel, and she is also the new, she's the new watercolor instructor, but also helped to coordinate the new art exhibit that's downstairs with all the Scituate Art Association artists. So it's full, there's some lovely work down there and there's a lot of pieces, but it was nice that they did that for us, because it was a little last minute and so great. A lot of them we didn't know, so it's a good look, and I am trying to schedule a reception just because that would be nice. I will mention, it's not in the report, but Skip Toomey is, if anyone does know him, Richard Skip Toomey, he was an art teacher here for many years, and he's also the Irish session guy at the Snug.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
I didn't know the
he's
same.
up, I did not know until someone else told me about it, but he's an amazing artist as well. So he's the March artist, and he's doing a little bit of a retrospective of some of his work, but scenes from Ireland and Scituate. So it's will be very nice.
This is painting.
Painting.
Yeah, I've seen one of his paintings, like, a fishing boat,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's got a website.
He's friendly with some of the
But
fishermen.
that's nice. That's just a month because then the high school comes in April, but still, I'm glad he would do it.
That'd be good for St. Patrick's Day.
It will be. Well, that was kind of the point, of course, but.
Maybe you can.
Yep,
send-
I'm glad he's doing that, he's a nice man.
Maybe you'll come and play some music.
Well, interesting, I didn't ask him that, they do the Monday nights at the Snug, of course, his little crew. We do have some other musicians, but maybe I
For
could
the,
ask
for the
him for that
March,
too.
I mean,
March. social
Especially
Yeah,
St. Patrick's Day area, yeah.
so that would be nice, so maybe he'd get his gang to come. The other musicians that are coming again, I came last year, that was the first time we'd had them here, but Stuart Peake and Richie, can't remember his last name, from Ireland, so they were nice too. And the year before that, we'd had Deacon Matty do a nice one, he was very good singing, but always. So Kelly is managing our tax work-off volunteers in this new calendar years, but Joe DeVito is keeping up with a regular set or series of sessions on some of the benefits or exemptions or reductions that might be found through the town assessor's office. So that will happen in February as well,
That's good.
and then again in March. Tax work-off being one of the programs offered, but that's really through us at this point, just that we coordinate it from January through October. Also newly added to our wellness offerings is the opportunity for the dental hygiene, which I think we might have talked about at the last meeting, but they are fabulous. It's every other month, and so we only have 6 spots because the appointments are an hour, but they're $35, and it's becoming quickly very popular, and she's good, so everybody's happy to have that. So that's really, we have a new driver pending, actually talking with HR now and getting set up with the appointments that need to be done before we can get them in the van, a little bit of training. So that should happen soon. Lauren's in need of that. I did include a page, just sort of printed and, what's that Google thing you can take a picture of instead of printing that many pages, but the snipping tool, love that snipping tool in Windows. So I can explain what you're looking at because there's 4 different, but the main categories, right, that we produce through my senior center, starting with community education and cultural events, and then the fitness and exercise, etc. So those are the big numbers resulting in, 868 unduplicated people. It's the second page of my report. But then you wonder, well, what's community education? I didn't print everything out. Our education classes, some of them are like Bob Jackman's classes, and anything that's akin to that, a little bit more broad in the information that they're providing or educational. cultural events right now off the top of my head, I can't remember what that might be. But what I did include, just for fun, it was the recreation, because those are a lot of our regular things. And, also like hand and foot card game, just to be specific, 25 unduplicated, but they came really, I suppose, it looks like only doubled, so maybe 2 times in December only because of the holidays. Or some of them aren't signing in, so that's when you start to realize that's probably true.
Now
We do try
it's
to-
huge.
We do try to catch them. But then, for instance, just to note how we have to sort of try to manage things, but, what was I gonna point out? Mahjong. So Mahjong's down, there were 36 people who came 60 times. But beginner Mahjong is under instructional, so that's up in the top right corner, that's the instructional stuff. So we don't really have to do it that way, but we did pull that apart. So those are the things people are learning, Spanish, Mahjong, the dry felting is there, but the wet felting for some reason is put somewhere else. So it's all manually driven, we can make changes to that as we print these reports and realize that one thing doesn't belong there, and it's better if we saw it in a different report. The storytelling, we have 2 of those, and that can be a little confusing. It's basically an expressive writing, sharing opportunity, and they write on a prompt that's introduced by the facilitator. But there's one that was on Mondays now for years, since being in the old building, but they just moved to Fridays beginning tomorrow. And then the one on Tuesday that kind of came out of some of the creativity classes we've done that are art-related with Esther Mascio. So that's why that became a second one on Tuesdays. So at least it's 2 opportunities, and they're both great. The wood turning, actually, I guess maybe they only have 5 last month, but they have 6 spots. And I ended up buying 2 little trucks or a sports car with little wooden figures to give to nice little toddlers that I thought that it was great. They just do such beautiful stuff. Speaking of which, like my pen here. Anyway, so that's what they teach people to make the first class is the pen. Laurie made one, right? Do you use your pen?
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
You can make it, actually they do the pens with everybody because that's the easiest kit. But if you take it more than once and you want to do something else, then you can get a different kit and do something else. He had some good suggestions. And then lastly, the social events, I did include those because it does show about each of the things I already talked about, but the police luncheon. And the lunch program, so the lunch program, you can see that 168 people came to lunch 752 times. So it does show you that they're coming multiple times during the month. Somebody did, well, I don't know if it's a great idea or not, but we've been looking for different ways to kind of open it up because with the regulars having it a little bit locked up, us trying to retain some discretion with numbers so that we can at least throw people in sometimes that are lower on the wait list or didn't get in. But aside from that also, everybody's got their sort of tables. So somebody said, oh, have a newcomer's table. And it could be a nice idea as long as there's not just one person or 2 people at that table. So it's something to manage a little bit, but we are really literally having to look at how to open it up to people who aren't quite as connected yet and want to be, would like to be, just like many of the people who are regulars were at the beginning. They didn't know everybody. They did just sit with anybody, and now they're just all
How many
friends.
people don't live in Scituate that come?
Not that many. I mean, we have some, sure, it could be 4 or 5 at a lunch. Could be more. I mean, well, some of them come here on a regular basis, and so it doesn't seem like they're out-of-towners or outside. But others try it because they've heard about it. Cohasset, Hingham, Norwell, maybe Marshfield. Same is true of almost everything that we do, but I will say that the people that are most connected are people that know each other, for sure.
Russ?
I'm just wondering if, like for instance, Cohasset has a French class. Is there some sort of mechanism for like sharing that information? Because some people might not do Spanish, but they'd be interested in French.
Well, that is certainly true. We just haven't maybe had the bandwidth to, not to say care, but we don't know who that is, we could certainly talk to them, that is an easy thing to do, there's no real mechanism other than talking with them and asking for their person. And then asking the person if they're interested. I mean, there is a lot of sharing that goes on between senior centers, for sure. It's just, I don't even know if we have a spot for it, or how well we could integrate that right now, but yes, anytime there's anything,
Even if they have like the corner on the French or something like that,
yeah.
is that something that, how do we get that out to the public to say that there's,
I was just gonna say, like, I know with all the people that were in my grief group, I mean, that stay together, I mean, they did it on their own. They just like, they get the newsletters from all the different senior
Oh, good.
centers.
Wow.
They just proactively, so they know what's going on in Marshfield and Cohasset and Hingham. And then they organize, you know, they say, oh, you know, this is going on here, let's go there, so.
but they're sort of like, they've made themselves the in crowd by doing all that work.
Well, no, they just are motivated.
They're
to
just
do it.
interested,
They're
yeah.
just interested.
I mean, how do we tell them what's going on in Cohasset, is that your question?
Well, I'm almost wondering if there's like half a page in the thing that says this is
Why?
going on. Like, for instance, Norwell is coming up with National Grid, right?
Yeah.
That's not far. Can we put up something on the bulletin board?
We
So-
can, and you sent me something, I just haven't had time to put it together. And
Yeah.
oftentimes they'll send us something, everybody wants people to come to their thing, so
Mhm.
oftentimes the directors of the
But
program
sometimes they
people
don't have.
will
room
send
for it.
to all of us, and we'll post it.
And we send to them as well, like,
Yeah,
on
the memory
different-
cafe,
yeah.
yes, we do. Whether there's like a board of everything, not, I think everybody would say, we're too busy.
Too busy and also too full. You know, sometimes there's
Yeah.
not enough room to have.
Well, someone has been going, and I mean, Scituate people certainly have gone, so there's an exercise class in Cohasset right now that people really like, and it's with a physical therapist. And so we've been told about it. Honestly, we have no space for it and haven't talked to that person, but people would be more than welcome to go if I knew if there was space. I don't know how big they allow it, you know what I mean? So everybody has the same issues. We are happy to share, everybody's pretty happy to share. So that's something, I don't know, that is something, it's not, we have it
Why
all
do you
wrapped
take it
up
on
right
as a
now.
project?
But there are people that shop the senior centers, they do, and they
Yeah,
sign up for everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that.
That's, yeah, there's right there.
I went to a program at the Duxbury Senior Center.
Mhm.
They were sponsoring a trip, and I always get their
Mhm.
newsletter automatically in my email now.
Oh, yes, very.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good.
I know Weymouth, really going back almost over a year ago at least, was talking about how they, because they couldn't handle the demand for their programs, was starting with Weymouth first for signups for a certain amount of time, and then opening it up later. So I'm just saying, sometimes it's not as easy as that, just to say this is available
I
there.
think it's real busy there, because I noticed it too. That they're limiting it, and they're saying it very nicely, but it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also went to something there with a friend that lives in Weymouth, and I'm not on their email
Yeah.
list or anything.
So, I mean, yes, we wanna be able to get everybody the right information, so, and sometimes if there's a great program, like I'm sure that in Norwell happened after it was here, we didn't get that many people, of course, here for the.
But we had Eversource, but we didn't have National
National
Grid.
Grid,
And
oh,
National Grid is what supplies the power for the whole town except for Hummerock.
okay, well, that's a good note to make, I did need to get that up, I hope I didn't miss it. Anyway, so it's a good question, I guess.
They're gonna do the same thing, by the way, with the relationship people sitting in the back with their laptops open and everything, and ready to help, so.
So, all right, we had Eversource, and this is National Grid. Okay. Anyway, so that's just a little bit of the story, not everything, but some numbers, just to give you some idea of what's been happening or what happened in January. Our numbers for transportation are certainly consistent from November to December and not really reduced, so 470 total rides. Medical out of town. Medical out of town really times two, because we've got out-of-town rides that we support with our own vans, and then we've got 118 medical out-of-town that we had to send through Social Community Action Council. And boy, that is a lot. Wow.
Did you say you're getting a new driver?
Yes.
Is that in addition to the ones you already had, or
Yes.
somebody left out?
Yes, well, one woman goes to Florida for a few months, so now we're out her, so in one sense it's replacing, but we needed more flexibility anyway. Some only do certain days but not other days, and so we need that. We would probably like another after that, which seems crazy, but we could. Anyway, I can't say enough about Lauren and doing a great job of managing everything, and the drivers are awesome as well.
A lot of people taking advantage
A
of
lot
it,
of
just
people
getting rides here for activities.
Yes,
That's
exactly,
sort
I
of
might have
interesting.
mentioned that, 156
Yeah.
rides, so that's, round trip, so to speak, so, yes. Yeah, it's something to manage, and then, in addition to that, of course, sometimes we're managing or at least assisting with getting the rides for GATRA's on-demand service, but we don't have to be involved, sometimes we are. Anyway, so, that's transportation, and then also can't say enough about Janine for outreach. And I didn't get a chance to ask her really about our other outreach services, but she does a nice narrative on the back in terms of explaining what a lot of her job has been last month, or just continuing to be. And of course, it's fuel assistance season, but also working with, more than one individual on just helping with some of their financial challenges and strategies to help them either stay in their homes, manage their finances, find ways to pay for things to support themselves. So she's good at that, she really is. And is really able to help. Now, she's also met with Jonathan Pierce from First Parish Church, who's the new reverend over there, a minister, and he had come over and met me as well. I know they have some nice programs going on there. It's just, finding the time for us to really either identify things that we could help support, or sending people to some of the things that are happening there. So she's gonna check out a couple of those, and then she'll know better if there are things that could help some of our clients or patrons.
Is that the church
Right across the street, yeah. But I do like she does talk about the majority of her clients falling into three categories, those that just need one-time sort of questions, solutions, help. We are getting a lot of questions about resources, which is great. We did start a few years ago to keep this resource book and do the best we can with updating it and knowing really who might be, not just available, but someone we'd be comfortable referring people to. So we are getting a lot of course, it's scary, the little bit of snow we've already had, so snow plowers and or shovelers, because it's just not been something we've easily had available to tell people about. We love Good Samaritans, of course, if it does get bad. But anyway, I will stop tracking and we can hand that over to Lucille.
Lucille, you wanna go? Or do you wanna go?
Don't you have to go? Yeah,
Either
it is mine.
either
Do you have to get
or.
up?
You wanna go first, or want me to go?
Kelly.
You think I have to go to the?
I was wondering, I meant to ask, I forgot.
I can't.
Oh, you did, okay, well,
This is
we'll have to take you up. Okay, Kelly, it is.
Mine's quick, like,
We always say
the
that.
steady momentum and thoughtful growth across the programs that I oversee, meaning the meet and greet, the Grieve Not Alone, and the resources for caregivers. Participation remains consistent, and the sense of connection among attendees continues to deepen. I think especially in my Grieve Not Alone, like they really just, they love to come. It was said today, like, for what they're getting out of the group, but also for the socialization from the group, which is like very nice to hear that. The same with the caregiver group, that it is nice that I pick out topics myself, as well as I will have people from the community come in. Like last month I had Phyllis Shea come in from Croy, which the former Norwell VNA. And so it does give it a nice balance of you know, topics like, that was last month, whereas this month I chose, you know, grief, not grief, but, because it's a caregiver, but it was kind of how to deal with after holiday sadness, so I guess grief in that sense. So it is nice to kind of get a little bit of the community involved in my groups as well as my own topics. People seem to be really happy with them.
And it's been consistent, well, not the
Yeah,
grief,
no, I mean,
the grief group, yes, but the caregiver groups, that
Yeah.
comes on consistent.
I do meet on a Monday morning, first Monday of the month, so that is tricky, but I do send out a reminder. But I get anywhere from 7 to like 12 people at mine, so I think I'm happy with that, it's good. Continue to strengthen the core programs by, you know, looking for more content, refining it, responding to participant feedback, which has been good. Exploring new ways to enhance connection and engagement within caregiver support group and the grief group, as well as the meet and greet sessions. Support the continued development of the Together in Time Memory Cafe, which is starting this month. Ed Kelly is going to be doing Singo at it. So I'm excited, you know, we don't know yet, you know, people say they're coming, so it'll be interesting to see what we get, how many, so that, I'm excited. Continue to grow and strengthen our volunteer program. Right now, it's like feast or famine. I feel like we get a ton of people that want to volunteer, we don't have positions, and now that we need volunteers,
They're not here.
they're not,
They're not here.
so I gotta figure out about trying to kind of get a few more to come in. But all in all, you know, as I move ahead, I remain inspired by the strength, kindness, and resilience present in our community. Through our collective efforts, we continue to build a senior center that is welcoming, thoughtful, and responsive to the needs of our participants.
Kelly,
Oh, yes, sorry.
what kinds of things do you need volunteers for?
The kitchen and social day.
So maybe you should even put up a sign or something.
Yeah, it was kind of been a busy week so far, but January, you know, people are sick and people are, different things coming up, so I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go through all of the forms that I have and just reach out again. Some people might still be interested, you know, maybe they're not, so it's just a matter of making some phone calls.
Yeah, or maybe even getting in touch with a woman at the church that does the outreach group. What is her?
Oh, St. Mary's, yeah.
St. Mary's, what is her, Diane? No.
Diane, yeah.
Yeah, because she has a whole team of volunteers,
Right.
and some of them may also be active in the senior center and not realize that, you know, that, because they wanna do that kind of work.
And I may have Joe, put it on our Facebook, again, just to, don't we have like, hasn't she done that before?
Who?
Jill?
Jill doesn't want to do it, but
Oh,
we do it.
Oh, okay, whoever, do it, to just kind of throw it out there, then like, oh, look at.
Maybe on a constant contact,
Right,
more people with that. But I mean, I would definitely reach out to Diane
That's a good
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
at St. Mary's,
Mary's.
because she has a big crew of people that
Right.
signed up to be volunteers, and it's sporadic.
right,
It's
they
not-
may not have.
They may not have a need, but they have people that wanna do it.
Sure.
So that might be a way for you to get some people,
That's a good one.
particularly that maybe have never stepped foot in the senior center, and there's a lot of those.
And I will say, I forgot to mention, I don't know if Linda, I don't know if it was in your notes, but Jen Adams
Oh,
coming back on our Fridays.
I figured we mentioned it.
That's
Yeah.
great, that's great.
So
That's
Jen,
awesome.
so she, for those that don't know, she was the one that originated the program with Linda. And she was amazing, and she needed to step away to do some certifications that she was doing that she could no longer do online. And so now we're getting her back for Fridays, not every Friday, Lucille's still gonna do, one Friday a month anyhow,
Yeah.
so.
When we do the cafe.
That
The
is good.
cafe,
That is good.
yeah.
I like it.
Me?
Okay, where is it?
Oh, no, Lucille's next.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
Kelly,
question.
are you planning any kind of activity for the Memory Cafe, or is it just gonna be kind of a meeting?
No, so we're doing Singo the first month, so
Okay.
every month we'll do something, different.
Yep.
So there will be an activity, we're kind of trying to base it off of how Norwell does theirs, which they seem to get a great following there. So, yes, some sort of social activity, and then some sort of, probably, I don't know if we'll do lunch, but we're gonna do like some sort of food with it. Because it starts at 12:30, so whether we actually do lunches, because the social day group will
They have
already
a
have
snack
eaten.
around 12:30.
Yeah, so we'll know more after the first one.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right.
Anybody have any questions for Kelly? Sue, what's
I'm
going
up.
on? You're up.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Okay, so you all know that we put that third day on, which, happens on Friday, so it would be Mondays, Wednesdays, and that would be Fridays from 9:30 to 12:30. We have 9 participants right now in the program who attend 3 days, different days. Some of them attend 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. Anyway, that's how that works. And since our last board meeting, we had 3 who left the program. They needed a higher level of care, and they've gone to local communities here. Also now we have 2 participants that are currently in rehab. So population sometimes changes. The staff continues to remain strong advocates because we try to adapt to their needs of all the participants. And our goals are really to continue meaningful engagement, create moments of happiness, and provide programs that are person-centered, okay? We want them to feel that they're valued, seen and valued. We balance creativity, we tap into reminiscence, and we promote feelings of belonging and comfort. And the program is really a mixture of camaraderie and I think support for each other. It is amazing to see at whatever level they are very nice to each other. So that's a lovely, lovely
Another
thing.
bonding, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
We've been adding a lot more to the programming just because there are different needs. There's a list of programs that we do for movement, physical, and eye-hand coordination. That would be exercise, weights. We do balloon tennis, a thing called surprise and catch, chair yoga. Linda comes in once in a while and does the Tai Chi. We use the shuffleboard room. We've been told that we're too loud in there because they're writing in the other room. So,
Oh, is that
so we
happening?
do charades when somebody gets a hit.
You got the rowdy group.
Yeah, we have the writing group right next door. Who knew?
No,
And I think you all reported
you-
once.
you
for
are
being
the
Is
loud.
that on
rowdy.
Monday? Because they just moved. Well, so now they're gone.
Well, thank you. Thanks for telling me. We'll be back. Okay, and you know, again, and then programs are, we do table shuffleboard, darts, ring toss. I like marbles, they do that. We've wonderful from Foster, we got this putting green that it shoots the ball back, which we love. Sometimes we do videos with Rocking for the Oldies. The cornhole competition is good. There's free dancing, which they love to do. And so, for mental stimulation and creativity, a lot of card games, board games, whiteboard games, bingo games, puzzles, arts and crafts, musical programs, flower arranging, quizzes. We do lots of, not lots, but we like to do a lot of travel logs, and it's just a very nice thing happened the other day. I also do current events, or something that happened in the past, and I won't go into it, but it was a terrible story about the execution of an elephant, and it happened in Luna Park in 1920 or something like that. Well, it was a terrible story, and we started talking about elephants, and little did I know that one gentleman, he was all excited to talk about elephants, trying to get the words out, and he had been to Africa and had went to an elephant sanctuary, I guess, and I did not know that, but the woman who was volunteering that day had also been to the same sanctuary.
Yeah,
And
it's a woman
there
named
was
Karen.
the memory that came out of them.
Mm.
And then someone else said, oh, I had an aunt who turned 80 and she wanted to ride an elephant. So whatever program I had, you know, I
Well, that was a connection.
let her take over.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing
That was
how,
fun.
how you say one word or something and it pulls up a memory.
Sparks something.
Right. So that's sort of some of the things that we do. Let's see what else we do. Current events and all that. Sing-alongs, we try that sometimes. I do get speakers and field trips, weather permitting. If there's something going on downstairs and it's within our time frame,
we bring them down, which we're very grateful for, you know, so, I just wanna say that, it's going well, the volunteer situation has been a little tricky here for a while, but, I think by and large, it's a good program, and I do think that I think the caregivers are very, very, very grateful, you know, they have that time.
Yeah.
And, they seem happy, they're home laughing, so, yeah.
So Lucille, what actually do the volunteers do?
Oh, they're the sidekick, we need them, sometimes you could use 3, believe me, because you have.
Just
some-
like handing out supplies or?
Yeah, but you know, no, they also, which I like, is when I do current events and I get the highlights, I don't know the details, and then they'll take out their Google and they'll
Yeah.
fact check and they fit in. Because it's not just me on, you know, it's a topic and,
Right.
so it's very important. I think we know about volunteers, like the 2 that have started the program are phenomenal, the first 2.
Yeah.
You know, and then we bring people along, you know, sometimes they're quiet, but then they get into the groove. But no, they help in any way. It's not just.
So they don't need a specific experience?
No, they'll follow our lead, whoever is leading the program, you know, they'll follow, and, I try to make everybody feel comfortable, you know. But, it's, I want to say, I'm so glad that we're doing it, I'm so glad that we have it really and truly. It's filling a little need in the community. Right now, we have a less of a population, just because I don't know, 2 people are in rehab, we don't know if they're coming back.
Right.
Some of them are home getting their rehab, so that changes. Oh, and also we do, excuse me, get together, and, you know, someone they're on a wait list, we've had a wait list, and we meet with them, and sometimes we give them a chance, not sometimes, we always say, let's try it, and they'll come 1 time or 2 times, sometimes it just, they don't wanna do it, you know, the family needs that, but they don't wanna come, right? So, we're constantly meeting people in the community that wanna try it, so that's all. Any other questions? Any questions?
Do you do birthday celebrations?
Yeah, we're starting that now, yeah, but, you know, sometimes you go months without a birthday.
Right.
That type of thing.
It is.
Yeah, we do. One of them is, his birthday is, March 17th, so we always have a birthday for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Right.
That's charming.
Yeah, huh? No, it's but.
Well,
So,
thank you for doing the program.
I love it, I do, I love them,
They love her.
I'm very fond of them.
You know what's nice, chair yoga is at 9:45, and I'll see them waiting for the elevator, and you don't see them, but they're looking forward to getting on that elevator and going up to see you.
Yeah, yes,
You
yes,
know?
yes.
It's really nice.
Yeah, they do, and, I've been,
It'll be a
sometimes I
sunny
use,
old day, it'll be raining,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
they're
they-
smiling,
They
you know?
they are smiling, yeah. And, we do, sometimes, you know, I think they get tired of just seeing me, so I put on a video, and it's great, it's this guy named Eugene, and it's rocking with the oldies, and they get so animated, you know, which is, I'm not doing it, I'm watching them. So it's good, we do variety. That's it.
Thank you.
Anything else?
A lot of variety.
We do.
With a lot of different personalities.
Yeah, yeah. But they support each other, that's the whole, you know, like when we do darts, sometimes they can't get it, but somebody else will come up here, and they show each other, which is so wonderful,
Yeah.
you know?
It is.
That's it.
Good,
Am I done?
thank you.
Can I leave that?
You can leave the meeting, but don't dare leave the program.
Thank you. Well, we're very happy. I'm so happy about Jen coming because it is a copy and because the Friday, you know, the 2 days are great for me. The Friday has been a little crap my other style, you know what I mean? Oh, and we are looking
She's got
so
institutional
forward to,
knowledge walking right in.
we're looking forward to this program. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Take one each because, one more thing I just want to say about this. I have, some people have left the program, but wherever they are, their spouse can bring them back. And that happens at Marshfield. So in other words, if they've left this program and they go to another facility, when they have a program in Marshfield or Norwell, that spouse will take them there. So what's happening now is my group tells me, oh, I saw so-and-so. And this would be like, George, someone has left my program, but they meet them at this cafe. So I'm hoping we're gonna do the same. It's got a very good purpose. Oh, you're gonna have, okay, I'll let you go this way. You can go around this way. Here, you pass.
Well, these are the flyers for the Memory Cafe Together in
Yes.
Time, that is on January 23rd.
Yeah, and this is just what I think, to take notes, okay?
JD,
I'm on it.
only one person has it here at this
So
time.
maybe we don't have it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, good,
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that.
no, no, I'll,
Well, yeah, so if you know anyone that actually is in a caregiving situation and does have someone, I mean, it really is just an opportunity that they can attend something together, but also with others who are somewhat, you know, in similar situations and have
And
a
it's
good
good for
time.
the, it's good for the caregiver, the spouses themselves, you know.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you more.
Okay.
And I'm not the one who takes calls.
no,
Not
too late.
I don't have any update from the select board, I don't know if you do.
You know what, not a tremendous one, but, she had actually said to me that Tuesday night select board meeting, because I wanted to attend, now it was late in the day on Tuesday, so I didn't, but, there was supposed to be a presentation by the Grantham Group about this
About the
building.
house.
And they
Okay,
did not end up attending, because they had not completed the process through the state that she had reported at the last meeting as well. So it didn't happen, so luckily I didn't cancel other plans to go. But, and I think it was very crowded because of the fishing, commercial fishing proposal that was being discussed or debated. So it was a bigger issue than that. But they did discuss that there will be a traffic study done for pedestrian and
Okay.
traffic flow at all the intersections in the area here, which won't be the first time this has
No.
been done. But I suppose maybe everybody has to do it themselves. I don't know. I literally am going to look for the notes that I know I have from previous
Yep.
reports, because our architect was required to engage an engineer to do that, and literally she sat there and counted, and proposals were made, and we met with the traffic committee back then, but anyway, it's
Yeah, I
all
mean,
gonna be done.
Just this whole thought four-way.
Yeah.
It would make more sense just to get rid of that little road on the side of the common, and just maybe you go on one side,
People talk about, you mean dead ending Cudworth?
will be either that way, or just to the
No, she's
right of the
saying
common,
cut out
just
First Parish.
get
Oh,
rid of that
that,
little
okay.
road
Oh, I
on the
see.
side, so you have to just go around. I mean, that would save so much headaches.
Well, we will get on that agenda.
What, are you talking about First Parish Road?
Well, not First Parish, well, yeah, where it
Yeah.
turns to First Parish, and not, you know, not Beaver Dam, but just that little chunk of First Parish, just on the side of the common. Just do away with that, and that way
The
there isn't
long side
that.
of the triangle.
Yeah, just make the common a little bigger.
Well, it's also been said that there could be a rotary, so that would include
Oh,
that. They
gotcha.
talked about a rotary around the common, but that just seems, I don't know if that
Yeah.
seems
You
that
kind of
feasible,
cross
but
the
that's been
crosswalk
thrown out there.
at the rotary.
And dead ending, if that's the right
Cudworth.
word, Cudworth.
Make it a
Making
one-way.
it a
Yeah.
one-way.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the three I've known about, but it's probably busier now, certainly with us, but,
So this is because of what's going on here with the,
but the housing,
yeah, well,
the proposed housing. So, I mean, I'll try to keep up with whether or not they are going to a select board meeting sometime.
what was
Get
the
the
thing with
planning
the
board.
commercial fishermen?
soon.
What was the thing with the commercial?
I mean,
fishermen?
I can't really speak to it
Oh.
very well, but it was a proposal, I don't know where it has to go, like maybe it's town meeting, but I shouldn't say that. Where some recreational boats want to get the ability to sell their fish and be considered commercial,
Oh.
even though they're not making a living at it.
Right.
And that's not really sitting well, and I don't blame them for, you know, the challenges they already have as commercial fishermen, you know,
Right.
trying to
I
make
know.
make
Big
a
I
living.
have two neighbors
So,
on the
I
street.
don't know what the outcome was, but it was a little contentious.
As long as they don't stop Miss Emily, I love Miss Emily.
Oh, well, and that is true, I guess that's good for him too. I love him too.
That is so good.
It is good. Anyway, so
Okay.
that's what Freya said.
Okay.
So it was good, she did let me know, she's the only one to let me know
Miss
about
Emily.
the agenda item, and I hadn't looked at it myself. so that was nice.
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Kenzie, social elder services.
Okay. So not much has changed. The state is, still has their waiting list. So we don't know how many people are not getting services because we never know who they are or what they need. The state is actually has paid, so that part is very good.
That's good.
The feds are still behind, they pay late. The big, beautiful, I guess it's a law now, has made some changes so that the money is different than it was in prior years. So there's fewer, and the state and the feds are still arguing about many, many things, and so it's easy for the feds to not be forthcoming. So it penalizes the state in ways that are appropriate from their side, inappropriate from the state side. So, but other than that, things are pretty much the same. People are still getting services, no one's going without services.
But no one's adding on to that next, right?
Yeah.
Not the ones that the state has. So if, if you call up, like, was in one of the reports, that she referred 3 people to South Shore. Those people came in direct. If they had services that could be provided, they would be provided. Because they don't, if they have to go through the state, however, because that's the application process, then they could get held up at that side. But it's only supposed to be, as far as I know, for a certain class of service, and that is the lowest level of service. So if you have a higher need, you are still going to be getting that. There's no waiting list for that. And so that's really good. But, it's pretty much unsustainable over the long term that the feds don't give you the money that you need. And that there are more and more older people in the states, including Massachusetts, with greater and greater needs. We're living longer, blah, blah, you've all heard the story. And so it's just, the state, you probably know, passed the law that says that caregivers now have to be licensed. So that's a step forward for Massachusetts. They didn't have to be licensed before.
Wow.
So we could all open up our own shop and hire people for caregiving. The second thing that happened since our last meeting was, there is, I think it's not a law, but, that the administration has determined that, I shouldn't say, I don't know either way. Anyway, there is something where caregivers who are living with the people that they care for, can now take a tax deduction,
Right,
Yeah.
which they couldn't before.
Yeah.
And that's new for this year.
and that's huge.
Yeah.
So that's something too. Although, people usually have to give up their jobs,
Right.
so they're not
They're not making it.
making any money, so it's only going to, I think it's 1.8 million people that it could potentially affect. So, so some things are changing. Nothing's changing for us. It's the same as it was last week. We're going forward month to month, and I'll keep you updated on everything that's happening when it happens.
Can I just ask a question? With social elder services, do you as an organization provide any assistance for people that are trying to get on mass health?
You mean, do we have people who
Yeah,
will
patient
assist you, like navigators?
Yeah, to help, because that's like so many people need to do that now because they need to get into assisted living or memory care units, and if you don't get on mass health, I had to do it myself for my parents, and it's
Really hard.
it's very, very hard, and it's hard to navigate, and you really have to
And the
have.
website is not that great either.
No, so I guess that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I believe that there are people who do, that kind of work, but I don't know whether it's that all they do, or whether you come into their system and then they see a need, and then they can refer you.
This is with, so calling social elder services
Yeah.
and say, hey, I have a family
Right,
member.
and if you ask any question like that, there will be an answer for you.
Okay,
That I can guarantee.
okay,
Even if it's not in-house, they'll know where to send you and how to do it.
okay.
When do the Medicaid cuts kick in? Was that January 1st?
No, everything kicks in, October 1st for the feds. And,
Oh, so
so
it's already-
anything
that's
that came
already-
from the federal side would be then.
Okay.
But I don't know what you're referring to in terms of Medicaid cuts.
I'm not an expert, but what I see on the news is that Medicaid is gonna take huge cuts, billions of dollars, and,
What
then-
station do you listen
which one do I listen to?
to?
What?
That was a joke. I
New
was
York
just-
Times?
I was just interjecting some humor.
I mean, every
It's really
state's
difficult.
Medicaid program is different. They all have to make a plan,
Yeah.
and they submit it to the feds, and then the feds approve the plan. So Medicaid in Massachusetts is different from New Hampshire and Vermont and Maine and every other state, and the District of
So our
Columbia.
people here in Scituate won't be affected?
No, they will be affected, because if there are cuts at the federal level, which is what I was talking about, that the feds in the big beautiful,
Bill, yeah.
yes, not a bill anymore, it's the law. If they have made cuts in the amount of money that will go toward Medicaid, or if they change the larger requirements for Medicaid, like if they, for example, had put in a work requirement, which they didn't, then that would have affected us and would have affected people in Scituate. So as far as I know, there is nothing huge that will affect the people of Scituate, except for the fact that there's now, because of the big beautiful law, there's less federal monies to do things, so that's why there's a waiting list. Because the state still hasn't determined how much of their rainy day fund or the billionaires' money that they're going to use to fill in the gaps that the feds have created. So, and it's, it's not just in Medicaid, it's like
A lot,
in virtually
sure.
everything that they possibly do.
Yeah.
So we got 3 more years of that at least.
So JD, this is kind of right up your line, right? I mean,
Sort of, yeah.
So how do you see the folks in Scituate being affected by stuff that we're
I mean, I don't have anything necessarily to add other than what Kenzie said. I mean, funds are tight. People are, trying to figure out how to make ends meet, and some of the services that were available a couple of years ago are not. So now it's a scramble.
And certainly, as far as I can see, the state of Massachusetts will be not submitting any changes to their Medicaid plan that would reduce the number or the kind of services that people in Massachusetts would get. I haven't
That's
heard
great.
anything about that.
Thank you.
What?
You're welcome.
Yeah. Elaine?
I'm gonna be very quick.
Okay.
Because we're on, boss is on a winter break.
Okay.
So we had a meeting December, I don't know the date, but,
18th, I think it was,
was
something
it
like
the
that.
18th, something
yeah.
like that. And we're not meeting again until February. So, I'm gonna be quiet this month and next month. Because the last event we had was the Christmas fair, and I think that was presented to you last month,
Mhm.
so.
Successfully?
Yes, the
Yeah.
fair was very successful,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. Okay. Does anybody have any other business items, news items?
I just have
Topics
a
of
question.
discussion? Yeah.
It was mentioned at one of the meetings I went to in the lectures
that the Medicare Advantage, you probably would know this, they have open enrollment, should that be announced to the, people if they wanna change their Medicare Advantage products?
That's, you have to have a Medicare Advantage plan now.
Right,
And that open enrollment is not anything new. It's always been there from January 1st to March 31st.
okay.
If you have a Medicare Advantage plan you want to change, which a lot of people
Why is that
want.
separate from the other open enrollment, just curious?
That's just a Medicare Advantage issue.
For one thing. Well, they
And I
should
have-
be notified by the Medicare Advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they publish that it's open enrollment time.
I just thought I had.
And they could call you, she's still busy, she's still getting, filling appointments on Mondays.
Right, right. But I have had a couple of people that switched Medicare Advantage plans because they weren't aware that the one they had wasn't gonna cover
Mm.
the doctor they had.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And we were able to switch.
Yeah, that's, some people asked me about that.
Yeah.
And I said, I think there's a Medicare Advantage, a window open.
Yeah,
But
until
I
March
wasn't sure of
31st.
the dates, because they said they just found out the Medicare Advantage they have is not gonna be covering their, pharmacy. Because they went to fill something in January, and it's no
And
longer.
that-
Yeah, wasn't covered.
Is there also a supplemental window
Well,
for people that haven't signed up? Is there an open enrollment for that too?
open enrollment for that would be October
The
15th to
same.
December 7th, not,
Not
No.
now.
no, this is only for people that already have a Medicare Advantage plan. They have to wait for,
And choose, do they have to choose another one, or could they choose Medicare, original Medicare?
they can go to original Medicare, but then they would also need a drug plan. The drug plan is only open enrollment October 15th to December 7th.
And if you don't have one, you get penalized
Yes,
for the rest of
yes.
your life.
Forever, right.
You get
I know that.
penalized if you change it.
Thank you.
That's mine. Does anybody else have any thoughts, comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you.